It's no longer just about Cassie or Kid Cudi or even Diddy alone. Something deeper is unraveling, and the silence around it is starting to scream. What began as one woman's shocking civil lawsuit has evolved into a full-blown legal storm, dragging in some of the biggest names in music and Hollywood. And now, for the first time, it's not just whispers and speculation. There's movement, there are names, and according to insiders, there are tapes, audio, graphic, real, played in court. And apparently, it's so disturbing, so explicit. Phones were banned, journalists were locked down, and the room froze as the sound played. That sound? Allegedly Diddy, possibly others. Names that until now were untouchable. Names like Meek Mill, names like Will Smith. Yes, that Will Smith. And it all traces back to a single, locked-down courtroom, where people who once smiled for cameras are now being forced to answer for what allegedly happened behind closed doors. But let's rewind. Cassie's allegations opened the floodgates. We heard about the freak-offs.
Well, allegedly Diddy was doing this so that him and Cassie could do these freak-offs.
We saw the civil suit documents, chilling details that felt almost too wild to be real. But now, real is catching up. The hotel video? That was just the teaser. Because according to sources, what was heard in that courtroom goes far beyond what's already public. We're talking about raw, explicit audio recordings. Recordings allegedly involving Diddy and others in scenes so graphic, one witness reportedly turned away mid-playback. And here's where things really start to twist. Dawn Richard, a former member of Danity Kane, has testified. Her words? Devastating. She didn't just back Cassie's story. She claimed to have seen things, heard threats, and yes, she confirmed that moment, the one where Diddy allegedly hit Cassie over a late meal. And what came after? A warning, cold, something like, don't say anything. What you saw, that was passion. People who talk, they go missing.
So Dawn is testifying that exactly what she talked about in her civil suit, in addition to some other things that they were in a house in LA in 2009. Diddy beat Cassie because Cassie wasn't finished allegedly making his food on time. And the next day he came in the room to talk to her and her band member, and he basically told them, allegedly said he told them, don't say anything. What y'all saw up there was passion. And when people say stuff about things like this about me, they end up.
And if that doesn't make your stomach drop, think about this. That line, that exact quote, is reportedly in the court transcript, but it gets even darker. One of the most gut-wrenching moments happened when Diddy's daughter left the courtroom. No tears, no words, just a pale face and empty eyes. She had reportedly just listened to that audio, and whatever was on it, it silenced everything. Now here's where the web starts tightening. Will Smith's name was reportedly mentioned in court, not casually, not in passing, but in direct connection to the recordings. Immediately, the internet exploded. Old clips, podcast jokes, comments that once felt like wild rumors now look like early warning signs. One viral clip resurfaced. Comedian Luenell laughing, saying Will and Diddy clapped cheeks. Back then, everyone shrugged. Now, it feels like a breadcrumb. And then came brother Bilal, Will's former assistant. A man with stories that would make even the most cynical listener pause. He claimed to have seen Will in graphic situations, named Dwayne Martin, named locations, even described positions. Whether you believe him or not, one thing is clear. These accusations aren't staying quiet. Will tried to deny it all, said he's nowhere near that man, but the receipts came flooding in. Photos, events, videos, proving he and Diddy were very much in the same rooms, often.
And then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, what? But I see his car there. So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up.
And then there's Meek Mill. His name reportedly comes up on the audio as well. And his reaction? Instant meltdown. He didn't stay silent. He tweeted and tweeted and tweeted. Denials, rants, defensiveness. And the more he typed, the more convinced the internet became. Memes exploded. Old clips of Diddy calling Meek daddy at a shirtless pool party resurfaced. Suddenly, everything that once felt like internet trolling started to feel like evidence. But here's the most unsettling part. No one has heard the tapes. No one outside that courtroom has seen a leak. No clips, no stills, nothing, just the silence. And that silence is louder than anything. Why? Because in an age where everything leaks, where even the most sensitive footage hits the internet in hours, these tapes have been locked down. That doesn't happen unless there's something really worth hiding. Sources claim one clip features a man being assaulted, while Diddy laughs in the background. That's how dark this has reportedly gotten. And if true, that's not gossip. That's not scandal. That's criminal. So why haven't we seen it? Some say it's to protect the victims. Others say it's to protect the powerful. But one thing is becoming clear. This isn't just about Diddy anymore. It's about everyone who was there, everyone who stayed silent, everyone who helped keep this machine running. Hollywood might be facing a reckoning. And if those tapes ever surface, names will fall, careers will collapse. Because if Diddy, Will, and Meek are just the beginning, who else was in the room? The silence surrounding the Diddy courtroom audio is only getting louder. And while the public waits to hear what was actually played inside those four walls, something else has started to shift. Something deeper, something harder to control. The unraveling of Diddy's empire. Let's talk about the aftershocks. Because once the names dropped, once the whispers became courtroom evidence, the people connected to Diddy didn't just go quiet. Some of them started to disappear. Literally. Social media wiped. Comments disabled, posts deleted. Artists once loud and proud about their affiliation with Diddy are now distancing themselves faster than you can hit unfollow. Insiders say some of Bad Boy's former affiliates have been contacted by federal investigators. Not for PR, not for damage control, but because their names are reportedly tied to flight logs, invitations, messages, and, you guessed it, private party footage. This is no longer about personal drama. It's beginning to sound like a takedown. Let's rewind to what's not being said and ask, who else was invited? Who showed up? And why haven't they spoken out? If this really was just Diddy's world and everyone else was a guest, what did those guests see? And what are they willing to say now that subpoenas are reportedly flying? Some sources claim there are non-disclosure agreements being broken behind closed doors. Not out of rebellion, but out of fear. Fear that silence may not protect them anymore. Fear that what was once considered industry secrets are now classified as evidence. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. A legal strategist connected to the case has said, off the record, that new names are surfacing in private documents. People from entertainment, politics, even international business. Allegedly, it's not just about what was caught on audio. It's about the network behind it. And if the government is now building a conspiracy case, this isn't going to stop with a couple headlines. We may be on the verge of one of the biggest celebrity implosions in modern media, and yet the silence remains. Every day the audio stays hidden, the speculation multiplies. And that speculation isn't just online. It's in boardrooms, it's in management offices, it's in closed-door meetings with PR firms and criminal defense lawyers. Because the truth is, no one knows how far this will go. Remember when names like Harvey Weinstein were untouchable? When silence protected giants? That illusion shattered the second a tape came out. And now people are watching this case unfold like they've seen this movie before. They just don't know who's in the final act. But here's what we do know. The courtroom audio has changed everything. Kid Cudi's testimony put a new face on fear. Cassie's bravery cracked the surface. Richard's corroboration opened the door. And behind that door is something far bigger than Diddy. So now the world waits. Not for a headline, not for a tweet, but for the leak. Because when, not if, the tape surfaces, it won't just expose one man. It will pull the curtain back on an entire era. And maybe, just maybe, it'll prove that no one, no matter how rich, how famous, or how feared, is untouchable forever. Stay close, because what's coming next might change everything you thought you knew about the entertainment industry. This isn't over. It's just getting started.